So how often should you listen to meditation to get the best results possible in the quickest way? And that's a very important topic to discuss because we all want to get results and all want to get results quickly. And meditations, they do work amazingly if you do it right and if you do it constantly, if you have a habit doing it. So it's very important to know how, when, and where. So where it makes sense. So basically, if you're doing your meditation, just make sure that you're in a quiet place, you're in a comfortable position, that nothing requires your immediate attention, nothing important is going on that will require your attention right away, right? So during the meditation, you're focused on meditation. You're focused on being alert and present in your mind, but you're not alert and present in your everyday life around you. So it's very important to give yourself that quiet time, that quiet place, and do it right. The next one is how long. So how long should you listen to meditation for in order for it to work, right? Because that's the most important part. We want to get results. We don't want to do it just for no reason, right? Everything we do is for a reason. So different website, different resources say different things, and it's very confusing. Some say do it for 10 days, some say 21 days, and that's how you change the habit. Some they say for a few months, right? Some say just do it once and it will work. I don't know. Different sources have different times, have different expectations, and different things that they tell you. But this is an answer that I cannot give you straightforward because it all depends on your mind, on your experience with guided meditation, on your openness to change your habit or your life. It depends on your situation, it depends on your issue, and there's a lot of things that it depends on. So it can be anything. So maybe you're not ready to change your life yet, so you need to do it in a longer period of time. Or maybe that's an issue that you've been doing, a habit you've been doing for a very long time. So yes, of course, if you've been doing it for 10, 20, 30, 50 years, right? Expecting that you listen to the meditation one day or even 10 days and it will work right away, probably it won't. In some cases it does work, if it's not really major issue, if your brain is ready to make a change. So it depends on you. It depends on your situation. It depends on your readiness. So some say 21 days, definitely you will change a habit. No. Maybe yes or maybe no. And you don't know. Why they say 21 days? Because usually it's longer, because people usually give up after a few days or after a week when they lose motivation. And that's a normal part of it, where you lose motivation. And I'm gonna do motivation video on this topic because it's very important, because people think that they lose motivation because they lack of willpower. Willpower doesn't exist, and it doesn't work in cases where you want to change your habit or you want to change your life. Yes, it will work for you for a few days, but then it goes away for everyone. There is no certain people that like superheroes, right? Like, I have all the willpower in the world. No, it doesn't have. They don't have it. If they tell you that they do, they don't have it. They have a different reason for their motivation. So no one does have the willpower for a very long period of time. They usually run on something else, and I'm gonna make a video on this, so I'll link it below. Yes, so it depends on you. It depends on your situation. You can do it for maybe 10 days and see if it's working. And if it's working, but it's not working completely, right? It hasn't changed your life yet completely, just keep doing it because it's working, and it's working for you in a very good way. So this is definitely meditation for you, and it's giving you some results. So the more you do it, the better, because at some point in your life, it will become automatic habit, and then you don't have to do it anymore. So mind-wise, the longer the better. Do it for 10 days, see how it works. If it doesn't work for you, if you don't like it, change it up a little bit, maybe choose a different meditation. But definitely keep being consistent and keep doing it, because change takes time. it's totally normal, and you need to be patient with yourself, and you need to be patient with the process, because your subconscious brain doesn't like change, and that's why it's trying to resist it. So change is totally normal, and it takes some time. It takes some time to get used to it. So if you don't see results right away, that's totally okay. Just do it longer. You can do it 10 days, you can do it 21 days, you can do it for a few months in order to make sure that they change, and your settings in your brain definitely change. So depends on your situation. I cannot give you any better advice. I wish I could. I could tell you, like, okay, do it 5 days, you'll get the results no matter what, right? No, it doesn't happen this way. So the general rule of thumb, every day, be consistent until you see the results. And even when you see the results, there's still, you need to keep continuing, because sometimes your brain gives in and like, okay, I'm gonna do it, right? And then eventually it will test you, it will try to change back to your old habit or your old pattern or behavior or way of life, right? So it will test you along the way. So the longer you persist doing it, the better it's for you, because you will keep on track, you will keep reinforcing it, the settings in your brain, that you really want to change it, you really want to change it, you really want to change it. So the longer, the better. And once you feel like, okay, I've accomplished this, I'm doing this every day, it changed my life, I feel like I'm consistent, then it's time to stop if you want to stop. And if you don't, you can keep doing it, because it's very relaxing, it's very cool, it's very enjoyable. So sometimes you just don't want to stop, so you can keep doing it. Another thing I wanted to mention, because sometimes we tend to get back to our old ways. So it can be related to changes in our life. So let's say you get married, or something happened in your family, or something happened at work, or something happened. So our brain likes to, sometimes, not every time, but I see the situation where the person been, let's say they're trying to stay healthy with eating, and eating healthy food, and they've been doing great for maybe 1 year or 2 years, and one day they got married and they changed the eating habit because of a partner, and then they start getting back to the old habits, or they got stressed out and something happened in their life and they start getting back to the old bad habits. And that happens because sometimes we make change and we think it's there for good. It just, our brain in very stressful situation, it tries to go back to the old ways. It does, in the old ways that it thinks that is safe for you, that will give you more benefit, even though it wouldn't. But your brain doesn't know. It's very like old fashioned and stuff. So it's like the old good days, all good ways that we do it. So yes, so sometimes it goes back, and that's where you need to start your meditations again. That's where you get back on track, you start listening, you start getting back on track and changing your life again. It might happen, and this setback, it shouldn't be taken as like, oh, okay, no, well, I messed up for life, maybe it's not for me, right? I was eating healthy before, and now like I'm all over the place and I'm eating junk food and I feel bad about myself. No, you shouldn't be feeling bad. It's totally normal to go back to your old ways. And sometimes, even you see with addictions, right? Sometimes people relapse and they start either drinking or doing drugs or something like this, because the brain in certain situation, in stressful situation or whatever is happening in their life, it tries to go back in its old ways. And you are there to stop it from doing it. So you are there to get back on track, to get back to your new healthy habits, to get back to your new ways of doing it. You just be consistent, be persistent, be like a parent to a kid, because your brain is like, doesn't want to change. Like, I don't want to change, I want to go back. Like, no, you gotta start doing it again. We've been feeling so good, and you gotta start doing your meditations, because they help. If you do it often, if you do it the right way, they do help. Another very important part is when to listen, right? Because we sometimes, people say listen right before sleep, some people say listen in the morning, some people say, I don't know, different timing, so it can be different. The best way I would recommend it to either do it right before bed, where you're the most adjustable, where you're in this state of light hypnosis right before you go to sleep, where your brain, your subconscious, kind of tired after the whole day of thinking and thinking. Your conscious is like, okay, I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm gonna come down, and your subconscious to truly open to new ideas, to new suggestions. So right before you go to sleep, that's the best time to do it. Also, the best time to do it right in the morning, right after you wake up. Your brain is clean and fresh. There is no, decisions running around. There is not too much thought going on. And right after you wake up, just pop it in, do your meditation, and you will start your day on the right track. You'll start your day with benefits for you, and your subconscious will remember because you start with your day with it, and like, well, that's very important, that's what we're gonna do, that's how we're gonna change it. And that will change your day as well. It will give you more motivation, you will stay on track. So that's a good way to do it. But we're all busy, and this night or morning shouldn't be excuse if you cannot do it. So if you cannot do it at night, if you can do it before sleep, if you cannot do it in the morning after you wake up, that's totally okay. You can do it during the day at any time you want. Anytime you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes of rest, break, just pop it in, relax, enjoy your guided meditation, feel the feelings, and that time you gotta make it for you. I know we're all busy, and I know from experience, I'm like, I cannot find time for this. I'm like, I literally have scheduled everything, a 5 minute 5 minute break here and there, and then everything else, like, I have no time. That's it. I know we get busy, and then it's up to you to make that time. It's up to you to take your health, your life, your changes that you want to do as a priority. And if it's important to you, you will make that time. Just 10-15 minutes a day. 10-15 minutes a day that you're scrolling through your social media. You're probably scrolling way longer, way more than that. So 10-15 minutes a day then you're watching television. Or 10-15 minutes a day, you can take it from something else that's not very important to you, but this is important to you. This change is important to you, and that's why you're doing it, so you can find the time. So schedule the time, find it in your calendar, put it in, and make sure that you do it, because unless you do it, it's not gonna work. Unless you stay consistent, it's not gonna work. If you do one meditation and then 2 months later, like, whoa, I gotta do it. Then you do one meditation again, and 2 months later, like, I forgot about it. Of course it doesn't work. Some people complain it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you don't do it consistently. You gotta do it consistently. So those are my tips on guided meditation. The same with hypnosis recordings. If you're doing hypnosis, if your hypnotherapist gave you a recording. So the same thing. Meditation and hypnosis are very similar, so you do it the same way that I guys told you right now in this whole video. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Yay! I always like a thumbs up. Yay. It really helps this channel. It really helps to YouTube, to the almighty gods of YouTube, to see this channel and maybe promote it a little bit. So I really enjoy it, and leave a comment below if you have any questions, if you have any your tips that you can share with people what helped you to stay consistent, to stay on track, and let me know how it works for you.